Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And in the last video, we just ended off by we made back in main.cpp here. And we ended off by making this thing called resolution, just preparing for the next video. So let's just continue from here. In this video, I'm gonna get an image sent over the network by the end of this video. So okay, the struct resolution. Okay, I'm just gonna name this with a capital R, and instead of XY, I'm gonna call it width and height. Okay, and let's just also create this struct on the server, and we'll start working on the server first. And this is the server, by the way, this one right here that I'm on right now. So let's create this on the server as well. Create it anywhere. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're just gonna start by defining some extra functions we need for when sending the frame. We're gonna define one called get frame resolution, and then there's also gonna be one called send frame resolution. So after, I'm just going to define it here under get message type because no specific reason, but yeah, it's going to be bold as everything else is, because remember in networking we just really need to check if we're getting the right thing. Get frame resolution, and this will take in an ID as usual, the end ID, and the resolution. That is, it takes in something to store the resolution in. So resolution reference res. Okay, and then this definition will be very similar to the get int. So I'm just gonna copy from here. It's instead of using this right here, we're just gonna use res, and then type size of resolution. You can use capital. You can use the type itself, size of resolution type, and then after this, we're just gonna check, and then that's basically it. Okay, we already have filter receive resolution. Yeah, we can change that. Okay, we're already getting last error because remember it's very important to get errors because in networking it can be you can get an error and I have no idea why if you don't do this. So yeah. Okay, so let's define something called send frame resolution. I'm just gonna define it right under sending because we defined get frame resolution on. Well, actually I'm gonna define it here on the send frame type, send message type. Okay, so bool send frame resolution, and this one is also going to take in the same thing, the ID. It's going to take in the ID and the same and the resolution reference and a resolution reference res. This one is going to be again very similar to this, so let's just copy this. And instead, of course, here instead of this, we're going to use res and size of resolution. Okay, so this looks very good. Fail to send frame res. Fail to send resolution. Okay, and this error message which we had out here, WSA get last error, I'm just gonna copy and paste this and put this in every place where it fails, where something fails, because it's very important. So let's just do that. You don't have to put it inside here because get size will. I'm gonna put it inside get size instead. And then okay, so let's just go down from here and place it every place where something fails. Okay, that looks good. Send in. We have to put it right here. And we're gonna put this right here as well, and right here. Okay, everything else seems fine. I'm one right here. So that seems very fine. So let's just continue. Next, we're going to define something called get frame and send frame. So let's start with get frame. We're going to define it right under get data. So here we have get data. We're just going to define something called get frame. And it's going to take in, of course, everything on the server side takes in the ID. It's also going to take in the unsigned char image, or unsigned char pointer. We're going to call it frame actually, because that's what it is. And we're just going to define this. And I hope you guys notice I'm not using function prototype. So yeah, I know it's not necessarily the best practice in the world, but I just don't really care, honestly. So yeah, you guys could use function prototypes if you want, and then define the functions elsewhere. But I'm just going to define them right away. And then get frame is going to be very similar to get data. So let's just copy some from here. And then data size. The only thing, well, yeah, we can get the size, but then we also have to add something else. Well, if, remember, you're not using message anywhere, we're using frame, and we don't need to do this extra character thing. After we get data size, we're just gonna store it in this. We're gonna store any size. We're gonna use get size and store it in here. Then after that, we're not gonna add the extra one anymore either, because this is no longer a string or anything where you have to ensure it has a no termination character. So we're just gonna create the size we need, and we're not gonna use message anymore. Frame. Sorry about that. I don't know what it's acting. Oh, we have to call this bool. We have to give it a data type. That's probably why. Okay, and then let's just change message right here to frame. And we have to cast it. Remember, we just changed it to an unsigned char, so we actually need to cast this to a char, to a regular char, because that is a difference, and C++ will not accept it. So yeah, we still have to cast it, and we're gonna cast frame, and then data size. We're gonna receive the data size, and then okay. So yeah, this looks good. Hopefully there's nothing wrong, and as you guys may notice, we're probably gonna get some memory leaks somewhere around here. I might try to fit some of those in this video, but I'm just gonna be trying to get the image sent over the network. So okay, we just define get frame. Now let's define send frame, and we're gonna define it under send data. So that's right here, and it's gonna be very similar to send data. So that usual everything return the bool, send frame, and let's also define it under the defined as well. So let's not mess up anything there. And then it takes in the same thing, and it takes in the unsigned char pointer message frame. Sorry. Okay, so that just copy from send data. Unsigned int data size. It doesn't need to be unsigned. I don't know why I made it unsigned earlier. Well, it should be unsigned actually, but it doesn't need to be. Okay, so instead of str length message, we're also going to take in something called a resolution. Yeah, we also have to take in a resolution, guys. So resolution res. It could be a reference. It doesn't need to be a reference, but I'll still make it a reference because why not? And instead of str length message, there's nothing called message anymore, so let's be sure to remove all of these. So let's just remove it here one time before I forget. So frame. I remember we have to cast it to a char pointer because it's an unsigned char pointer right now, and there is a difference. Which C++ will not accept. And then instead of strlen, we are going to use res.width by res.height. Very important. After we do this, which you could forget to do. Oh shit. Very important, which you might forget to do. You have to multiply by 4. Because remember, each pixel has 4 channels. So let's just multiply this by 4. I didn't need to put bracket. The same multiplication can be done in any order and still get the same results. But yeah, I just did it because that's what's logically happening. So yeah, this should be fine now. But don't forget to multiply by 4. That's the most important part here. Otherwise, your program will crash because it's gonna be you're gonna allocate a pointer of this size, which won't be enough. So yeah, I hope you guys understand that part. So in here, we want the function we just created called send frame resolution. Be sure I'm gonna use it right after send message type. Because after we get the message type and we find out it's a frame message, then we just want to get the resolution right after that. But just be sure to receive it in the exact same order on the client side. Be sure to send it in the same order that we're receiving it here, and vice versa, because that's probably the most important part in programming. So if not, get send frame resolution, send frame resolution, and we're gonna passing ID and then res. Okay, and if not that, then we're just gonna return false. We don't need an error message. We already have one inside the function itself. Okay, and this should be good. Everything else here seems okay. Yeah, actually. So let's just go and inside process message. Right here, we're gonna change this part because we don't we need to change it. So right here, we need to get after. Remember, we said we have to receive and collect the thing in the same exact order. So right after we find out the message type, this is right after we get message type, we want to do get frame resolution. F get frame resolution. And remember, this is like I can't stress so much. This is the most important part. So if not get frame resolution, ID res. Oh yeah, we have to declare some stuff right here. We have to declare a unsigned char pointer, which will be used as the frame. Unsigned char pointer frame, and then we're going to declare something called a resolution res. This will just be used for storing the data, not necessarily anything more. Storing the data and sending it. Okay, so that looks good. We're going to pass in. Okay, we're just going to pass in the res we just created, and of course we're just going to check it and return false if it fails. Okay. That looks good. And then after that, we're going to use get frame instead of get message. And of course, we're going to use the same char pointer we just created, frame, called frame. And don't get too confused by the fact, like, remember we just have to have one for storing, like we are here. We have to have one for storing. Well, for the server side, we only need one for storing, so yeah. And then here, we're just going to send frame in the loop. We're going to send frame instead of send message. And remember, send frame takes in something extra. It takes in the resolution. Send frame. And instead of message, we'll use frame. And then on the end here, it takes in a resolution pointer, resolution reference. Okay, and that should be fine. Okay. That is absolutely fine. Should be, hopefully. We're just going to send frame sync instead. We could probably remove most of these things after we're done, but it's just helpful for now. Okay, this looks pretty good. So I think we might be done with the server side for now, because that's actually all we need to do. So let's just save these changes. I'm just gonna compile it now, actually see what if there's any weird things happening. So remember to activate the server product, activate the one you want. Invalid conversion, okay. So unsigned, hopefully that works. Message type was not declared in this function. Okay. You also need to take it in here, that's what happened. Pretty sure this states in send data. Okay, we'll just add it here. Message type MSG type. And let's compile again and see. Yeah, let's just return true in the case something happens. Okay, and then this other one says that frame may be uninitialized. Warning, frame may be uninitialized in this function. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna stress over it too much. Let's just leave it like that. Okay, so let's just move on to the client side. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. But then of course guys, like as I was saying about the thing, we could just, since frame, we could just delete frame after we're done here. Like for example, we could just say f frame and delete frame. Yeah, we could probably do that, something like that. Which means we're gonna be allocating a char every time, but okay, we could also set this equal to null pointer initially too. Okay, so let's see if that works out. Hopefully it doesn't give any weird errors. And see, it actually fixed the error, the warning we had. So okay, let's move on to the client and back in Skull. So main.cpp over here. And we already defined the resolution struct here. Basically all we really want to do right now on the client side is we're gonna, remember on the client side we need to keep some things, we should keep some things in the global scope to store the things we'll be taking in. So you want to keep two versions of things, want to store and want to send and want to receive. So we're going to store resolution, which is what the app will be using to render. Resolution res, and we're storing the global scope. And then we'll also store unsigned char pointer frame. And I'm just going to declare above here. Unsigned char pointer frame. And we're going to set it equal to null pointer as well. And then after that, we're just going to create a bool. I'm going to create it here, create all the bools together. We're going to create an extra bool called completed, because we're going to be updating texture, and updating texture may be a little heavy, so I'm just going to do it. I'm only going to do it after we know we just received a frame. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to go about that. Okay, so before we go any further, let me just say we'll be sending an example image, and the image I chose is this one here. For no other reason other than the fact that this is my favorite car by far. So yeah, I really love this car. So just find any image you like and then just place it in the project directory inside the folder. My folder is called Skull. Just place it in here. I also place it in the bin and debug folder just to be safe, because since the application is here and we'll be using a relative path, then we are getting the image right here, so that's why I do that. I think code block set it up so that all relative paths will be starting from inside the project directory, but I still do it just to be safe. So yeah, just find an image you like, place it in this folder at least, and then if you are also like me, precautious like me, you could also place it in the same folder as the executable. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's just go back up here and then let's add the same functions we added on the server side. So we're going to define something called get frame resolution as well. Furthermore, let's just copy it from the server side. Get frame resolution is going to be a boolean as well too. So on the get message type, let's just define this. And instead of taking ID and a resolution, we're not even gonna taking anything like that. We're not even gonna take any res. We're gonna use one for sending and one for storing what we are supposed to be receiving. That's what I meant. So okay, so the one we're gonna be using one in the global scope. And remember, we're not using ID anymore, so just remove that and just use connection. Okay, and this is already fine, actually. So let's just move on and then define send frame resolution. We're just going to copy it. Copy and paste. Under send message type. And as usual, just remove ID. We're actually going to keep the resolution reference here. Because remember, we're going to use one for sending and one for storing what we receive, which is what we'll be used with the application. So this one will actually be we'll be creating one inside the process message function, I think. So int check equals send frame send. So same frame resolution. And yeah, we just have to replace connections in this case. And I don't think we need to do anything else here either, since it's going to use the res from right here. And okay, so after that we can just define the same things as well, like get data and so get data and send data and send no get frame and send frame, sorry. Get frame. Or we could even copy it from here, but no, I'm just going to copy it from the server and replace ID. Yeah, this looks good. And remember, we have something called a frame in the global scope. That is what we'll be using for receiving. So no need to take in anything here. And then we'll use get size. And then actually we need to do just we copied get data actually. Oh no. We copied it right here. Okay, so all we need to do is get the size and then just assign frame a new Einstein char. Okay, and then do receive it, actually receive it. WSA get last error. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Or we have to replace ID. Our get size doesn't take an ID on this client side. So just remove all IDs that you see. And now we should be good. So after that, we're gonna we just define send frame. Let's just define we just define get frame. So that defines send frame. the reason I'm copying is just to make sure like we maintain the same order, because it's very like as I keep stressing, the most important part, making sure you're sending things in the same order. Because as you can see, we are sending the frame resolution first, then we're actually sending the frame. But if you change around the order in any way, it'll just mess up. So yeah, send message type, and just replace all the IDs. So here and here and also here, I just use connections here, and it does take in the unsigned chart pointer frame, and we can make it a const pointer because we don't want to change the pointer. Okay, and this should be fine. Yep, it should be. So yeah, we're just gonna use this here. And don't forget, yeah, this part here is the most important part, because otherwise you won't be allocated a buffer with the right size. I wonder, since we're doing it here, do we need to do it on the server as well? Like, cause we also did this part here. I don't know if we have to do this part in the server. Hmm. Oh well, whatever. It shouldn't hurt either way, so yeah, we'll just leave that. Okay, so this looks good. So after that, so we already have send frame defined, and I think that's all we need to do in terms of the networking part. Inside process message, in the case of a frame message, we just need to do, instead of get message, we're gonna get frame resolution. But no, we already have that inside. Yeah, instead of get message, we don't want to do it so soon. If not, if not get frame resolution. And this takes in nothing. It'll use the rest outside. Then first we just want to set completed to false. We want to make sure it's false. Because remember, we created something called complete. I just want to name it completed. So sorry about that. I want to rename it to completed. So just add in the D. So back here inside process message, it's a frame message. So completed equals false. Just make sure. And we're just gonna get the frame resolution. Okay, and then after that we're gonna get the message, and remember, getting the message also does all the other things. Well, we're gonna get the frame. Sorry. We're not gonna pass in anything. Yeah, so this should be good. And remember, these functions use the things in the global scope for when we're receiving. So just don't get too confused. Okay, so that's pretty much it. On this client side, we won't be sending the things we receive. Or yeah, so let's just move on to the main code. So I'm just gonna create example. So these things here we have, I'm going to create something called example width, and then I'm going to create something called an example height. It's just before the example image that we're using. Remember the picture I showed you just now? Example is height, and then example channels. And that should be fine. And then here, what we're actually going to do is do in the else part of this, we're going to assign frame to be image. We're gonna assign frame equal image. This is the frame in the global scope by the way that we created earlier. And we're gonna stop using image at this point. There's a function called stbi free. We can't use it yet because it will also free frame, because pointers, the way how pointers work, they're literally you could literally consider it the exact same variable for now. It's not like references where they're literally the same thing, but yeah, it's still basically the same thing. So all we want to do in here is assign it, and then remember you have something called a res in the global scope. We just want to do the width and height of those. Okay, so we just want to set res.width equal to width, and then res.height equal to height. This is the height we just got from stb image, by the way. Okay, and we could get rid of most of these things. Well, we're not going to get rid of them. They're just going to go. We could put them in a scope or something, but I'm not going to go that far. So after we do that, we should be good. And in places where we're using image, we're going to use frame instead. Beyond this point, so frame. And then after we do that, we could really do stbi free. I think it's called stbi image free. Yeah, image free. And then we're just gonna pass in image, or we don't even, well, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna use delete on that yet. So after we use it for the texture, we don't need it here anymore. And in here, the way how we set this up, I'm gonna set this up. Well, not going to load yet. We have to actually load the example image. So after we do this, we're just gonna load the example image. So in here, and instead of, we're just gonna call this example image. And my file is called BMW M3 GTR.jpg. And let me just confirm that. Okay. So that's what it's called, and remember we're specifically requesting 4 channels just to ensure everything is okay. And we have to use the example things here, example width, example height, and example channels. Okay. And we could do the same basic checking here. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the else part, just copy this part. F not example image. We're just gonna say field, well, example image loading field. Okay, so that should be good. So in the while loop now, we're just gonna do a little thing for demo purposes. We're just gonna make it so that whenever the person presses spacebar, it's gonna send the image to the other instance of the program. So let's just, the way how we check for a key press, I'm not gonna use the window right, as I was saying, I'm not gonna use the window procedure or anything. I'm just gonna use a function called get async key state. And this function is basically taking what the key you're listening for. So the way how Microsoft has it, VK underscore, and we can use space. I'm just gonna check for that, and to find out if it was pressed in the last frame, according to the documentation, it says that if it was not pressed before, because the way how this function works, if you hold it down, if you hold on the space bar, it's gonna count, like if you hold it down for 1 second, that's gonna result in a lot of presses. So there's a way to find out if it was pressed in the last call to this function, and it's if the least significant bit is set. So if how we just check it, it's set and 1, because if the least significant bit is set, then doing the AND operator with 1 should result in true. So this is, after we do this, we just want to actually send. Okay, and we need something. So right after we do this, we're going to send the frame. Okay. So what we want to do, we just want to create something called a resolution in here. And call it res. Well, frame res. We're not going to confuse everything. Then frame res dot width. We're going to set to example width equals example width. And then frame res dot height equals example height. Okay, and then we're just going to use the send frame function in here. So if not send frame, and it takes in the frame we want to send, which should be example image. And then the message type will be, of course, be frame message. Okay, so frame message, and then the resolution we're going to be passing on is frame res that we just created. And if not that, we're just going to say fail to send frame, which I hope to never see. Fail to send frame. Okay, that should be fine. The only weird thing about this is that because Windows is shitty, it's just something the other instance of the program can get the can receive this message instead of yours. But hopefully it behaves nicely for us. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And then what we need to do now, we need to we create a texture and give the texture data right here. But we need to define a function called update texture. So let's just go in OpenGL functions.h, and basically just it's gonna have the same thing as create texture. It's gonna take in the exact same thing actually. So update texture, and let's just go in. Let's just copy this, the function's signature, and then go in here on the create texture. We're gonna define this. Okay, and then we're gonna copy from here. So let's just go about this logically. We don't need to generate a texture or give the active texture slot, since we're just going to be using one texture slot. Bind texture, we don't need to. Yeah, we could still bind it, but all these things here about setting up the texture parameters, we already did these in the create texture part, so we could just move those away. And the only thing we really want to do is this part. And see, this is still not as efficient as it could be, because we really should be using something called GL text subimage 2D. But for now, I'm just going to continue using text image 2D, and it's going to have the same parameters as usual. Yeah, literally everything else is the same. So that's pretty much it. So we have something called update texture now. Let's just save these files, and let's go back in the main. And in here, we're gonna say if completed. And remember, oh yeah, we have to set completed equal to true when we receive the frame. So inside get frame, and we actually want to go inside get frame because we want to do it as soon as it's done. So let's go up here, inside get frame, And as soon as this is done and we confirm it has an error, we're just going to say completed equal true. And that's basically the way I'm going to do it. And then in here, back down here, we're just going to check F completed. We're going to update texture with text, of course. We're going to pass in frame. This is the frame we're going to be using. We'll receive it in here. And then we're just going to pass in res.width and res.height. And I hope you notice the images we are sending have two different resolutions. So it will also be a good test. And then very important, after we do this, we're just going to set completed back to false. Okay. So this completed really signifies that the image was received from the server. That is fully completed. And we could probably make sure that it only renders that the entire thing, this entire part here only happens. I actually want to do this under process. I actually want to do all of this stuff that we just did here under process window events. So let's just move it from there. So under here, this is where we're going to define those. So just put it under here. We could probably even make sure that all of this stuff here only, even declaring the window and drawing the frame, all of that stuff only happens when it's completed. Since if they haven't received a frame, you don't need to re-render or clear the frame every cycle. But I'm just going to leave it like this for now. And instead of width and height, we're just going to use res.width and res.height. Okay, and we should be cooking now. We should be good. So let's just compile this. And I think we have the client selected. This goes okay. So something with height HEIGH. I don't know how this is. Okay. And now we also need to, let's also fix this in here. Okay, so we should be good now. Okay, and there actually weren't any errors, so let's just go about doing this. So I'm going to select the server because we only want to run one server. So let me just save the projects because I don't know. Okay, so activate the server and then run it. And we could keep it here if we just, I don't know, but what we really want to do is open two instances of the client. Okay, and we can shut down this part here since we're not interested in that. And let's just make this window a little smaller and open another instance. And let's make it a lot smaller as well. So guys, I'm going to select this one right here, the one on the left, and I'm just going to press the space bar. And as you can see, something here happened. It said failed to process message. So let's see what happened. Inside, I think it was talking about send data. Let's just say failed to send frame. Alright guys, so I believe I figured out the problem. So back in the server, inside get frame, you're actually supposed to be taking in an unsigned char pointer reference because remember we're assigning it, we're allocating memory and this returns a memory address. So we need to be able to edit the pointer. So yeah, just take this in by reference instead of just by pointer like that, just take it in by reference. And let's save that. And also what I decided to do is just let's when we send the frame, like inside here, I'm also going to just say which ID it was from. So say frame sent from ID and then %d and then just actually pass in the ID so that we know which one it was sent from. So okay, after that everything should be fine. I didn't make any other changes. So let's just compile and see. Well, I already compiled. Well, let's just recompile then. Let's recompile both of these. So we're going to recompile the server. Okay, and let's just recompile this as well, so we can get everything fresh. I don't care about this thing. This is about this thing right here. I don't care about that. Okay, so let's just activate the server and then run it. Okay, so let's just also run 2 instances of this, and I'm just gonna make this smaller. Okay, then let's run another instance. Oh my. Okay, and then let's make this smaller. And let's close this window. Okay, and let's just press, I'm just gonna select this one over here on the left. As you can see, I'm clicking it and then I'm gonna press space. As you can see, we just successfully sent a message over the server and we're displaying it on the other end. Now let's just go this side and I'm gonna click on the one on the right now and I'm gonna press space. And still hasn't sent yet. Let's see if they get any output from here. I think, oh yeah, that's the problem I was telling you about earlier. It's sometimes this window will receive the message. Like for example, I clicked on this and press space for sure. So let's just try again. Okay, as you can see now, we're getting it over here. That's just the shitty thing about Windows. But of course, in the real world, you won't be running 2 instances on the same computer, so you won't really have to worry about this. Just to fix some of these memory leaks we probably have. After we know that it's completed, we're just going to delete the frame as well. So delete frame, because I know this may be bothering some of you, but yeah, we're just going to delete frame. But in the real world, like after we're just going to be streaming video or something, though the size may not change, so we actually may not want to delete this. And yeah, things like that we probably have to think about. And as I was saying in the update texture thing, in OpenGL function CPP, we actually might want to use GL text sub image. Like for example, that in the same example where we're streaming video or live streaming, like of camera resolution probably won't be changing. So we could probably just reuse this and use GL text sub image today, which will be way more efficient. But yeah, that's basically it. I have what I wanted. This is actually like in my mind, I'm actually completed what I've set out to do, which is just to send the image over to the net side of the network. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. See you guys in the next one. I'm probably gonna still continue doing some other stuff for this, but yeah, as I said in my head, I've completed what I really wanted to do. So yeah, see you guys next time if there's any more videos on this project.